how could CDP change perhaps that business as usual response on environmental issues? What are investors using those emissions levels, recorded emissions levels? Are they usable for investors to say, we are now going to invest in companies with lower emissions, we are now going to try and drive companies with high levels of CO2 and other greenhouse gas emissions to reduce them? What's been the net impact, effectively, of you producing those?
I mean, obviously, the ultimate change that those of us working in climate change want to do is to change capital flows, to change flows away from tar sands, coal, towards low carbon solutions, and that's what I think most of us in this room are aiming for. The question is how to do it. In terms of CDP, as the data's got better in quality and investors have become more interested, people are using the data a lot to engage with companies. So pick out the laggards, go and talk to them and say this is not acceptable. We are seeing sell-side brokers reports, you'll all know. There's one a week on climate change now, and a lot of that is using data reported by companies and through CDP. Increasingly, as we heard from F&C, we're seeing specific climate change funds, and that's perhaps the first start in changing the allocation of capital, but it's a kind of currently very small start, and I think we'll only get that reallocation of capital when we get, in a sense, what Paul talked about, the right global policies. I mean, it's, American Electric Power reports 150 million tonnes of CO2 to CDP. The cost to that company of that 150 million tonnes is currently zero. Now, if there's a new cap and trade scheme in the US, there will be a cost, and investors will be much more interested in those 150 million tonnes. So it's a complex jigsaw of things that need to happen to really get the changes we want.